Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good evening or good afternoon. Good evening. Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys all doing well out there. Hope this show finds you in great spirits because another day above the dirt is always a blessing. What is popping, everybody? I hope you guys are all doing well out there. Yes, the background is a little bit different. It's going to be a little different for a little while now. We are in transition mode right now as we speak. We're traveling. We're vacationing. We're doing our thing. Okay, we are in the middle of doing that thing. So you ain't going to be seeing the purple room for a little bit. Okay? For the next couple days. So it is what it is. All right. But I brought my whole rig with me just so I could keep up to date on everything that's been going on. Yo, your boy is tired. Okay. Your boy is tired. And honestly, tired of the BS that's going on in the internet and in these internet streets as well. I'm not going to lie. It's insane what has been popping off on the internet revolving around this whole trial. But I digress. We got quite a bit to talk about. Not going to be a super long show today, but we back. Okay, we back. Man, I was busy traveling. Trey. Damn it. Trey. Okay. But it's time to get into it. So again, I'm going to be asking you guys a couple things while we do this show. Okay? All right. I'm going to say that. I'm going to say that really quick. I got a few questions to ask you while we get things popping, okay? Because this is the first rig in this setup and everything, and it's, I kind of put together what I could put together within this traveling thing. Shut up, Trey. Shut up, Trey. Anyway. Hopefully you guys are all doing well out there. Okay. Hopefully you guys are all doing well out there in this wherever you guys are watching this show. Okay. Because I got to say it again. Another day above the dirt is always a blessing. Let's not forget that. Okay. Now, this is a crazy situation that we do need to talk about. But before we get into everything, please hit that like button down below. Crush it, do what it do. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on these other platforms. If you are watching on these other platforms like Facebook, X/Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Rumble, Twitch, Kick, I'm on all them mugs. So make sure you hit that reaction button. Okay. I missed you guys too. So hit that reaction button if you're watching on these other platforms. Make sure you hit that follow button on those platforms like Facebook, X/Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. I'm on all of them. So make sure you're following. Follow. Okay. Because honestly, I'm going to tell you, the information ain't slowing down anytime soon. We're going to keep coming back with all this stuff. So we had to take 2 days off because of travel. And we are here. We are back. Okay? So, again, hit that follow button. Hit that subscribe button right here on my YouTube channel. Subscribe. Go to my second channel, The Pascal Show Clips. We're going to be revving that bad boy back up again here very soon. Yes, we had 2 days off. I am tired as all get out, but it was necessary. So hit that subscribe button on that other channel, The Pascal Show Clips. Hit that notification bell on both platforms so you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload, because it is random. Hit that join button down below. Become a member. Check out my Patreon. And, of course, check out pascalmerch.com. I'll just say it again, pascalmerch.com. Go check it out. Why? Because the stuff is fire over there. I ain't going to gatekeep. We got great stuff over there, pascalmerch.com. So go check it out. Okay? All right, guys. Let us get into this conversation, okay? Oh, I'd rather us be talking about something else today. I'm not going to lie. I'd rather be talking about something else, all right? Let me just say that really quick. I'd rather be talking to you guys about anything else under the sun. But unfortunately, we have got to get into this conversation. There was a couple interviews, and I'm going to be splitting them up over the next day or two. I'm going to be honest, because I'm doing a little bit of catch up, but then at the same time, there's just a lot that we need to discuss, and we just have not gotten a chance to fully discuss it yet. Okay. But here's the thing. If you've been living under a rock, it has taken over this has taken over the country. This has taken over the globe, to be really honest. Okay. If you did not know what was going on, Karmelo Anthony was found guilty of taking the life of murder, taking the life of Austin Metcalf. He was sentenced to 35 years in prison. Now, he has an opportunity for parole in about 17 years, or it's like 17 and a half years or something like that. Halfway through his sentence of 35 years, he's going to get a chance, okay? He's going to get a chance to see if he gets free, all right? Now, that is very much old news. But over the past 2 days, some very interesting stuff popped off, let's just say. And a lot of people are very upset. A lot of people are. Let me just say that. A lot of people are very upset, and a lot of people are very shocked. I'm going to be real. I'm a little shocked. We're gonna hit this button now, because I'm going to keep it real. I'm a little bit shocked. And you guys can hear the sound effects, right? Y'all can hear that? Y'all can hear that, right? Hit the number 1. Let me know you guys can hear those sound effects. I know some of y'all are like, I hate the sound effects. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I understand that. But this is my show. This is how I do things. I run this town. I mean, this channel, not this town. But you know what I'm saying. Okay? Okay? So if you guys can hear the sound effects, make sure you hit that hit the number 1 in the chat. Okay? Simple ask. Okay? Or you could just say yes. That's fine too. That's fine too. Okay? But thank you for all the number 1s. I appreciate it. Okay? Now, here is the thing. We have been listening and watching and covering this since day 1, since it became a huge topic way back a year ago when Karmelo Anthony did indeed take the life of Austin Metcalf. Now, let me just keep this real with y'all, because I already know how some of y'all gonna feel. Because, some people like to come in, they BSing, they want to throw in their racist words and all that. They want to try to attack me for whatever reason, stuff like that. I mean, it is what it is. But let me just tell you this right now, okay? We all must agree on the fact that Karmelo Anthony did take the life of Austin Metcalf. There should not be any debate about that. Just so you know, there should not be any debate about that. He did take the life of Austin Metcalf. There was no other person there that actually plunged that knife into the chest of that young man. I just want to make that abundantly clear. So before people get all in their feelings, people get all in their fee-fees about stuff like this, let us talk about the facts. And the facts are this. He admitted to taking the life of Austin Metcalf. He said that. I'm not alleged. I did it. He said it was self-defense. Now, I leave that question up to you guys on whether or not this is self-defense or no. I leave that up to y'all. To me, I think that it was a combination of two different things. And I know some of y'all going to be mad, okay? Y'all going to be mad about my theory. But this is my theory. Just like every single last one of y'all in this entire family chat, y'all have your thoughts too. Okay, y'all have your theories too. It may be exactly what transpired in that courtroom, and you think it's absolutely just. You think that the 35 years is exactly the right amount of time, so on and so forth. That may be you. You may be thinking, oh, no. It was a mistake. It was a bad situation. He was trying to defend himself, but bad things happened, and he took that kid's life, right? And some of y'all may be thinking he needs to walk free because he was just trying to protect himself, right? We all have varying degrees of our own theories. But here's the thing. He has been locked up, or he's going to be locked up. Unless he gets approved with an appeal, he's going to be locked up for a good portion of his life. Most likely, if he stays good and he doesn't do the Mackenzie Shirilla thing, showing a boobie or a hoo-ha on camera, he should be good. He'll get parole in 17 and a half years. Now, I know that's a big pill to swallow. That doesn't make a lot of people happy about that theory, about that thought. But at the same time, these are the breaks. This is what was handed to him. There was a choice that he made. Didn't go as well for the other kid, too. That kid is gone now. So I just want to make that abundantly clear. Another thing, too, let's just say this, the quiet part out loud. There were choices on both sides. I know. Some of y'all, ooh, y'all mad. Ooh, y'all mad. Y'all mad when you hear that. Oh, no. It's supposed to be all his face. It's Karmelo. It's Melo fault. Well, choices could have been made. Better choices could have been made on both sides of the fence. Okay? I'm not sitting here saying, oh, this is what Austin got. He got himself killed. That's what happened. He got himself killed. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is facts. Bad choices were made on both sides of the fence, both sides of the situation, and now you got a kid 6 feet under and another kid locked up for 35 mother-loving years. Bad situations happened here. Bad. You know, it's funny because I'm really glad. First off, I missed y'all, okay? No lie. Okay, no lie. I did miss you guys. But it gave me an opportunity while traveling. It gave me a lot of time, okay, to think about this a little bit and see what's going on and just kind of consume stuff. And I'm going to tell you right now, no, with all the time I've had, with the traveling and whatnot, no, it didn't change my theory. I still think the same. Hasn't changed anything. But it was interesting to step back and watch how the rest of the world reacted. And some of y'all out there, some of y'all are immature as hell. Because if you really think about it, like I said again, no one wins in this situation. No one wins. So many people were yelling at the Anthony family, yelling at the Metcalf family. I mean, it's bad out here, guys. It's already enough that we already have issues like, trying to live. Forget the color of our skin. Forget the differences between me and you. We already have enough issues just trying to live and to keep the lights on and the roof over our head and food in our kids' bellies and all that. We already have enough issues. And yet people decided to take this upon themselves to go a whole other level higher, to be even more insulting and immature about this whole situation. I got to be honest, man. It's just really, really sad when you get this step back instead of covering it and having all the chaos come to you, and you just open up your phone to just see the news and just see, like, is there anything else that people are talking about that has nothing to do with Austin Metcalf and Karmelo Anthony? And it's like, no, there's still people still angry, people still upset, people still going at each other. People still hurling insults. People are still sending out threats, so on and so forth. Okay? It's really bad. Okay? It's really, really bad. I don't have a solution for it. But as you sit back and you just sit on the sidelines and you see how the people are acting out in the field towards each other, it's hurtful. It's sad. But there's somebody else here that isn't making the situation any better. Where is it? Yeah, I'm going to say it. This was very disappointing. This was disappointing. I'm going to be real. This was very disappointing. Now, I want to make this abundantly clear. We're not watching this 2.5 hour long video. We're not. We're going to go through some of the moments here because there's some stuff that I want to hear. I think you guys would like to hear the very beginning, talking about how he's gone into when he went to the crime scene and the things that happened at that moment. I think that is incredibly important to hear. But it's the other stuff that he said that really broke my heart. Was extremely disappointing. And it almost felt like this. It sounds weird because I want to say it now, but it almost felt like the villain in the movie that just talks way too long and he's explaining the whole plot, like his whole plan, like that's why I went in to stove the hole with, ice cream parlor, twirling his imaginary mustache while he's saying the whole thing. You know what I mean? I hate vanilla ice cream. That's why I stole the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's just like, ooh, gotcha. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, you thought I was that one way, but I really am this way. But I'm not racist. What? What did you say? You saw what I'm saying? It kind of felt like that, just a little. You know what I'm saying? Just me. He's like, I'm not racist. I'm only rude. I'm only an a-hole to the people who are a-holes to me. But then he goes after the entire black community. He goes off and he's like, the culture and stuff. Talking about baby mamas and welfare and the culture and all that. And I'm like, what? You really went there? You're really going there? Okay, you going there. Okay, you going there too. Oh, you're going even deeper. Oh, damn, you going even deeper, bruh. Oh, I thought he was a little different. I thought he was different than what he showed here. And in a way, to me, it felt like it was like a, hi, fooled you. You know what I'm saying? Like, remember, see, this is what's so confusing. Remember that time? Remember like a year ago when Jake Lang, that piece of trash, okay? We don't welcome, racists and bad people on this platform in our chats. That's just in general, right? So Jake Lang, he's not one we don't, we're not a big fan. We're not a big fan, all right? But he went and he was like, protect white Americans, right? He did this whole movement and everything, standing on top of a MAGA wrapped RV. He brought in his token black guy who was sitting there going like, yes, we gotta, my people keep hurting the white man. Remember that? And there was like 7 people out there, including the dude in the wheelchair with the good leg. Remember that guy who showed up outside the courthouse with all of his racist signage and whatnot? He probably scooted there with his good leg. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, he was on the phone. Jake Lang was on the phone with the likes of Austin Metcalf's dad. And Austin Metcalf's dad is like, are you done talking? Cool. Please do not use my son's face or any likeness of my son for your movement. What you stand for is disgusting. F off and God bless you kind of thing, right? But then now we get a different side of him. Now he starts sitting there going, ooh, black fatigue is real. And then he goes off on this whole racist rant about the culture. Like he has a place to say anything about the culture in the first place. You know what it felt like? Let me just say this really quick. You know what it felt like And we're going to see some of it. We're not playing the whole doggone thing. It's 2.5 hours of him just ranting. But it's almost as if we're sitting in on a conversation he's having with one of his friends after Thanksgiving dinner, and they're having a little bit of, a little cognac. Well, probably not cognac. Probably like a strong scotch and a cigar. And it's between them. No cameras are on. It's just him with his buddy saying his thoughts about the black community. You know what I'm saying? But no, he decided to have the camera on during this bad idea of a time. You want to know something funny? I literally thought it was AI for a second there. I'm not kidding. I was looking at his face. I was looking at his mouth, making sure it wasn't doing that thing while he was talking. I'm like, oh my God, this is real. This is real. This can't be. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, a bourbon. Good bourbon is scotch, Baxter. That's my little gentleman. You know what I mean? It just felt like he should have been having a conversation with like a friend. No cameras on, but he's like, you know what I think? See, what I think is black fatigue is real. You know what I'm saying? It kind of gave me that vibe. He should have been looking over is the camera rolling? Turn it off. Okay, is it not rolling? Okay, black fatigue is real. You know what I'm saying? That's just the vibe I was getting. But I can prep too. What's up? Watermelon Felon is soft compared to what that man's been through. To the culture, Pascal, do you identify with the behavior or just the positive parts of the community? Who says what represents the community? The Anthonys? Now, first off, that's a lot to answer. All right. Here it is. Okay. Watermelon Felon. I understand what you're saying. It's soft in comparison to what he has been through. But here's the thing. You could still, if it's not about race, you shouldn't be calling the kid Watermelon Felon. That's racist. Period. Father's gone through some serious stuff. I agree. Terrible, terrible stuff. Okay? But at the same time, he could have said any other thing that did not pertain to some sort of stereotype. But he chose to say Watermelon Felon. It's not soft. It's still backhanded, not even a backhanded racist remark. It's a racist remark. He says it's not about the color of your skin. He should be looking at Karmelo Anthony for what he has done, not what he has done on top of the color of his skin. So he could have called him anything else. He could have said, don't drop the soap there, Karmelo. He could have said anything else. But he decided to go down that route. Hold on. Do you, Pascal, do you identify with the behavior or just the positive parts of the community? Here it is. Okay, I'm a part of the community because I am black. But at the same time, do you take part and identify with certain behavior? I don't know what race you are, and I don't care. But if you are white, Asian, whatever, outside of black or black yourself, do you identify with all behavior of all race of whatever race you are a part of? I think not, right? So I think that's, it's kind of a, but moving on, okay? Or just the positive part, we already talked about that. Who says what represents the community? The Anthonys? The Anthonys shouldn't even be representing any race. They should just be representing themselves, which is the Anthonys. You feel me? That's literally it. Okay? Literally it. So again, for someone to sit there, and I appreciate that some people in the peanut gallery actually agree, Tyler, sup, man, sup. But at the same time, okay, you can't just sit there and say, oh, because you're black, or because, let's just say, just because you're Chinese, or you're Indian, that suddenly you just represent every stereotype within everything, every characteristic within that community. I think that's some sloppy work. That's just what I truly think, okay? I think that's some sloppy work. We are not a monolith, and that I'm saying that for everybody. White people, too. Wow! Even white people. Y'all ain't a monolith at all, too. Okay? Man, shoot, I know black people who ain't never played spades in their damn life. That's a real thing. There are black people out here that have never played spades in their life. Okay? You see what I'm saying? So again, let's be real. Him saying, oh, I got something for you guys. Watermelon felon. Not the greatest choice. Not the greatest choice. Okay? Just saying, not the greatest choice. Especially for somebody who says, I'm not about race. I'm not a racist. I'm not this, that, and the other. But then he ends up doing that, right? So, that's an interesting statement. But anyway, sorry, just something I'm reading. Mellow watermelon, no. You might be stretching that a little bit. That's a stretch. Oh, he's going felon because he's going to be going to jail. He literally said it. You're going to hear it yourself here, guys. I don't need to do all the heavy lifting. Okay? You're going to hear it in a little bit. The watermelon felon thing, he said right before he said watermelon felon. It's not because his name is Mellow and you can put Mellow in the word watermelon. Hell to the no. He literally said, here's something racist for you guys. Watermelon felon. I got a new nickname for him. It's called watermelon felon. He called him watermelon felon because of the stigma attached to watermelon to black people. Okay? Just so you know. Has nothing to do with the fact that his nickname is Mellow. Just so you know. If his name was John Michael, he still would have said watermelon felon. Just so you know. But here's the thing. Here's the thing, guys. Okay? Here's the thing. All right? This is the sad part about the world that we live in. Oh, dear God. Yes, spades is a card game. Yeah, somebody said, what spades? I didn't. I'm sorry, but yeah, it's all good. Not everybody knows spades. Not everybody knows spades, but people get real heated when playing spades. People get very, 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 very competitive. All right, just so you know what spades is, it's a hell of a game. Okay, Some people are very good at it. Some people are very bad at it. Okay, but it's a very competitive game. All right, so let's continue on here. Yeah, it's a card game, so you guys know. Like, you know, it's like not all, like if we're talking about racist stuff, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it for a second, okay? Right? Not all white people listen to country. Really? Music, country music. Not all white people listen to country. Country music, right? Not all Asians are good at math. You see what I'm saying? Like, we could go through all of them. You see what I'm saying? All of them. Not all black men have 15,000 baby mamas. And some white men have 50 million baby mamas. See what I'm saying? Oh, and Diddy did this for us too. Okay, he kind of ruined it because the average appendage, you're talking about, the weed whacker from black men is supposed to be like absolutely massive. That's when you see all the, the eggplant emojis, right? Well, now apparently, according to Diddy, black men have small weed whackers too. You see what I'm saying? It's very lazy, okay? Extremely lazy for us all to be going after each other and just going, oh, he white, so he must have a Klan member in his family. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being real. Oh, he black, he must have really bad credit. You see what I'm saying? Oh, she Asian, she must be a terrible driver. You see what I'm saying? It's just dumb. It's lazy. It's lazy work. See? We all can laugh. We all can laugh about that because for a fact what I'm saying is true. It's funny, but it's true. Shoot, not all black people love fried chicken. Not all black people love watermelon. Not all black people love that hippity hop music. I'm just saying. It's lazy work to automatically look at somebody and just assume, just by the color of their skin, that they're a certain way. It's wrong. It's lazy. And it's sad if that's how you think in your mind. And this is the reason why we have this show. This is the reason why we are here in this conversation. To wake us all up and make us realize that we are all so beautiful and we have all so many things that are so in common. The only difference is who we came from, what background we have, the color of our skin, whether we grew up in an affluent family or a broken family. We all come together and realize we all got blood pumping through our veins and our heart all beats the same, unless you got a heart murmur or some sort of heart defect. But other than that, we all bleed the same. Okay? Let me see this really quick. Let's see. Okay. Sorry. I can prep too. We're in agreement, Pascal. Neither the best nor the worst of individuals represents the whole. So why do some identify so much with race? It's wild. I don't know. But you want to know why? Because I think it also has to do, let's just be real. Let's talk about this. I think it also has to do with they have nothing else to lean on, so they lean on that. Like, okay, for example, did anybody see the Kevin Hart roast on Netflix? Okay, if you did, doesn't matter if you did or didn't. It doesn't matter. I just want to point something out. Now, if you don't know about Kevin Hart be short. Now, you might be like, what? He's short? He's short, okay? Now, if every single person went up roasting him about his shortness, how short he is, how minimal he is, it would have been the most boring roast ever. It still kind of was boring, but you get what I'm saying, because all they're doing is going after the very specific, very obvious things. He's black and he's short. So all they were doing is making jokes about how short and black he is. At some point, you're going to be like, yo, if you're going to roast him, like roast him with something good. Roast him good. We've already heard, how many ways can you tell somebody, can you say about somebody, of somebody's shortness and how dark they are? How many times? You see what I'm saying? So at some point, that gets boring. That gets dumb. It's low-hanging fruit. Racism or racists, it's kind of the same way. Instead of them actually trying to understand or get to know this particular person, they just look at them up and down, however they look, whether they're white, black, whatever race, and that's it. Oh, he's black, so therefore, bleh. Here's all the stereotypes. I don't need to know who he is. It's lazy work, like I said. It's lazy. It just shows that that person's not willing to truly understand how this person is, or how this person, what kind of person this is. You see what I'm saying? Here's the other thing too. This guy right here, right? Austin Metcalf's dad, Jeff, he's speaking directly to the black community. And like I said before, it's almost like as if you have a place to say anything about it. This would be a different situation. And I think people would respond. I don't even know if people would respond in this way. Because how do you talk about that? Being a white man saying that to the black community, how do you think the black community is going to react to you if you are, if you're white and you're saying it in this way, right? People aren't going to listen. but he felt in his heart to say what he said. My problem is, the thing that also bothers me about this, we're just going to get it all out the way and then we're going to play this thing. Okay. I missed you guys, but I got to say this stuff, get it off my chest. You know what I mean? I got to speak from the heart as well. He says he's a Christian man. There ain't nothing that he says in this There ain't nothing he says in here that sounds Christian. Now, I also want to say this too. I understand that he's hurting. He just lost his son a year ago. He's still going through a lot of stuff. He's going to go through roller coaster rides of emotions. But it is not the time to hop onto a live video or to upload this video and say what he is saying. It doesn't excuse it. It just does not excuse what he is saying. Because again, it is Karmelo Anthony that did this, not the entire black community. Just saying. So it was a little bit of a shock. Like, wow, he just went there. He's going there. And he continues to go there, which is exactly what we're going to be covering here in just a second. Now, first, here's the thing. I wanted to hear the beginning, okay? Because there's some things that he does talk about the moment that he walks up and he says, he talks about like walking to the crime scene, seeing Austin Metcalf. Clearly he has passed on, you know what I mean? And he talks about all that. And I'm going to tell you this, that stuff is heart-wrenching. That stuff is heartbreaking to hear. He's still a father. He lost his son in this way, in a terrible, terrible way. All right? That is absolutely terrible. Then there's a moment where he could have just turned off the camera. And he didn't. He continued talking. So we are going to hear a bit of that as well. Okay. But first, let me get this super chat here. Open House. Thank you so much. He watched people urinate on his son's grave. Images of his son in a casket with the words "dead loser." Not an excuse, but he's pissed. Yeah. And I understand the being pissed. You see what I'm saying? But didn't Jesus even say, like turn the other cheek, or, he didn't say this specifically, but isn't it about taking the higher road? It's not tit for tat, but I get it. He's angry. There's a lot of emotions going on here, but I think this was a bad choice. Whether you agree with me or not, I think that this was a very, very bad choice because he's allowed to express himself. He's absolutely, hey, this is his First Amendment right. He can talk however he wants to talk, but it's also our right to react. If you're putting this up on the internet for people to see, don't expect everyone to agree with you, especially when you speak it in this kind of way, in this kind of tone. And he almost says the N-word in this video too. Let's not forget that. Now, I get it's Charleston White, and he ain't great, but at the same time, he almost called the dude the N-word. He slipped the first half of the word. You know what I'm saying? So again, like I said, he's allowed to speak however he wants, but we're allowed. We are all of us, white, black, whatever, whether you agree with everything he says here or not, we all have the same rights as he does too, which is we have a right to sit there and say, I don't agree with what he's saying here. You see what I'm saying? And yes, Robin, you're saying you're going to cover the Anthony family, what they said in their interview. Yes, we are going to be. I am going to be covering that. I don't think I'm going to be covering it in this show, but we are going to cover it in another show in the very, very near future. Okay, so let us say that. Okay, so yeah, let's continue. All right, let's get into this. All right, love all y'all, mad love and respect. Nothing but mad love and respect. Hit the number 1 and let me know you guys can hear this video here.
I knew he was gone. I prayed for a miracle. And as soon as that happened, I asked the ambulance, the EMTs, what hospital they were taking him to. And once they instructed me where they were going, I directed my attention to finding Hunter. And they said he was taken to the locker room in the field house. So I proceeded.
Oh yeah, if you did send a super chat, you don't have to send the super chat, but just send what you said, and I'll make sure I read that. I didn't see it. The chat is going by pretty fast, but it is what it is when you got people in and they're all wanting to say what they need to say. You know what I mean? Everybody wants their voices and their opinions heard. All right, but so keep the comments coming, and thank you so much that you guys can hear this. Good, because like I said, I just put everything together just a little bit ago, and then just went live, because I was like, I got to get in here and chop it up with y'all. So I missed you guys, and so I'm glad to be back here rapping with you guys about this. I like I said, I really, really wish we could be talking about something else today. Okay, there is peace talks. Maybe they're going to be signing a peace talk, peace agreement between Iran and America. Allegedly, that's supposed to be happening tomorrow. We'll see if that's actually true. If that does happen tomorrow, we're going to be live and talking about it, okay? Because we do need some positive news out here bad, okay? Just so you know. But let's continue. 2.5 hour video. This is insane. But we're not watching the whole thing. We're just going to go hit the beats, okay?
Get to go run over there. And I found Hunter, who was uncontrollably out of control, bawling, emotional wreck. So I have to try to gather him and maintain myself. And all we do is we pray. And I tell him, let's go. I'm taking you to the hospital. You're riding with me. And we get in the car and we're praying. Because I am praying for a miracle at this point, because I know my son was gone. But we get to the hospital. We get in the room. I have to make the phone call to his mom when we were driving to inform her to meet us at the hospital. By this time, the word's getting out to certain family members. Certain people are showing up at the hospital. Takes probably, I'd say, a good 10 minutes before the doctors come in. I knew what was fixing to be said. I knew by the look on their face that Austin had passed away. And they confirmed that. That very second, Hunter spun out of control. And it took 5 officers to get him under control. We had to admit him and get him sedated. And then at that point, they wouldn't allow us to see our son because now it is a crime scene. So they have to process the body. So for over 2 hours, we can't even see Austin. And by this time, a huge crowd of students, parents, friends is overflowing this hospital. It is so touching and so moving, and we're all so distraught over the news of Austin's passing. That moment, I became totally numb and went into what I call survival function mode. I had to find and buy burial plots, funeral homes, arrangements, so many things that had to be done. And I needed to stay focused. That very first night, our church held an impromptu vigil. Our church holds 1,500 people at Hope Fellowship. It was overflowing. There was over 1,700 people that showed up that night. Very touching. An outpouring from the community, friends, family, even people who didn't know us. showed up in support. And I spoke that night about who Austin was. He was a leader, on and off the field. He touched people's hearts in ways others couldn't. He was loved by so many. And so,
hold on one second. There it is. Thank you, Oya. I apologize. You sent two chats. So real quick, you said it's all good. Sent two chats. I understood the dad's anger. It's those racial slur stereotypes is a no for me. I agree. I understand the anger, but the stereotypes and the racial, the diatribe, the racism, the diatribe, etc., wrong. And then yeah, very interesting. Then I said the parents are divorced for 10 years, single and co-parenting, just me. So yes, they are also a split up family. Like I said, we're gonna be hearing a bit of that here in just a little bit. Okay. But yeah, I mean, it's just very interesting that, like I said, what he says, it's kind of like, well, that some of these things apply to you too, my brother. Like, with all due respect, some of these things, like you're talking about different baby mamas and, broken homes and so on and so forth. Your family, your kids are a product of divorce. Sorry, but that's true, and that's a fact too. So, then you got the Anthony family, affluent family, still together, etc. That doesn't make them any better. Doesn't make them better at all. I'm just saying. It's just interesting that he says these things, and I get his anger. But like I said, a very interesting thing. Okay. Let me get this here too before we continue. Happy days. Thank you so much for being a member for 7 months. I appreciate it. What you're hearing out of this man's mouth really transcends this case. This is about a much bigger issue. Institutionalized racism. I can't talk. Yes. I agree. Okay. There is a much bigger issue going on here, and we're seeing it in real time. Absolutely. I agree. 110%. Thank you so much for the comment. Let's continue.
when he loved him. I told a story that night. And I told the story when I was diagnosed with cancer in my cancer group. They asked us, define success. And it went around the room, and most people, some of the common stuff, I'd like a big house and car and, a lake property or whatever. But when it came my turn, I had a different view. I said, my success will be judged by how many people show up at my funeral. And what do I mean by that? I'd like well, when you go to a funeral, the people that attend are someone, hopefully, you have touched their life in a positive way. Because one thing about people, they don't remember how big your house was, what kind of car you drove, how big your bank account was, where you got your nails done. None of that matters. What matters is people always remember how you make them feel. They'll never forget how you make them feel.
Now, truer words have never been said. Okay? I agree 110%. 10% on that. Okay? Absolutely. 110%. It's how you make people feel, right? I agree. But like I said, it spirals out of control. He went scorched earth. I think he went scorched earth, in my personal opinion. Okay? This is the part where I'm like, I agree with. And I feel bad for him about what happened to his son and the experience that he had to go through. And I also think, yes, I agree. There are things that you have to go through or you have to kind of stitch up and compartmentalize so that you can be there for the family that is literally falling apart in front of you. Okay. And then Smiley just said, I just want to know, so what's it about race? I mean, that's the question I'd like to know too. Because I can see, here, let me just say this really quick. I've seen people saying that, because after they saw this, they're like, whoa, wait a second. If he is like this, who's to say that his kids aren't like that too? Is the interaction that he had is the interaction that Austin Metcalf had with Karmelo Anthony, was it completely just like, hey, you need to go, right? Hey, you need to leave? Or was it something else, right? Or was it something else? I don't know. Okay. And it doesn't see, this is the crazy thing. It's like P. Cooper just said, oh, I have so many black creators that would totally disagree with you. I don't care. I'm me. I am me. You are you. Like, I'm not sitting there going, what did everybody else who's black say about this? Because I'm concerned. Because I want to make sure I'm saying the right thing. Huh? I don't care. I ain't saying anything that I ain't trying to say that I feel that is true in my heart. And what's true in my heart is what I'm saying right here. Now, if there are black creators out there that don't agree with me, then so be it. Then they don't agree with me. Okay. Good on you. Having a different opinion. Yes. Yes. Hercules. Yes. 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 I don't care. I don't care. Okay. See, this is the problem. This is exactly what we were talking about earlier. You can't automatically assume, but in fact, I think a lot of black creators are on the same page as me on what this man is saying, what he says later on, you know? Some are even more vicious than me, I would assume, right? Other individuals. And I've heard from other people who are not even black react to this that are even more vicious, okay, towards him. Okay, against what he says, right? And I've seen a lot of white people and black people say, I agree with everything that he is saying. Finally, somebody ripped the veil off of the culture and exposing them to the truth, so on and so forth. It just is what it is. Like I said, it is so many different differing opinions on so many different so many groups of people. You can't literally just say all black people, all black creators think alike. It's lazy. It's lazy work, y'all. It's lazy work. Jacqueline, thank you so much for love. Appreciate the love. Regardless of how much money Metcalf families had, if I was Anthony or Karmelo Anthony's family, could have taken $10,000 from that $600,000 and given to Jeff for funeral, etc., just to show some empathy. You know, I could see that too. I could see that. That's not a bad idea. But you also got to remember, in the interview that the Karmelo Anthony's parents have, they even said themselves, like, they were told not to do certain things. They were told not to talk to certain people. They were told not to do this, this, and this. And they did exactly what the people were advising them to do. And it ended up still biting them in the ass. And I think now they're like, nah, F that. It needs to change. Like, we need to stop doing that. But that could mean a smattering of different things. Okay, I can't speak for the Anthony family, just like I can't speak for Austin Metcalf's dad. I really can't. I can't. All I can do is react and go, yeah, like that, Jacqueline. That idea would be lovely. That'd be a lovely idea, right? That'd be a kind, beautiful gesture. But that didn't happen. Now, did it? Does that mean that the Anthony family are calloused, evil people? No. They probably were told to keep their distance from the Metcalf family by any means necessary. You see what I'm saying? So it is what it is, It just is what it is. But let's continue on, okay? Hold on. Smiley just said, thank you so much for the super chat. Y'all think he popped up to the mom's press conference to show respect or say some things, some of the things he's saying now. That's the thing. I don't know, because back then he said, no, I just wanted to be there. I wanted to show that it wasn't about, that there wasn't, animosity towards the families and all that. But then he later on says some things here, and a lot can change in a year. A lot can change in a year. But it's interesting that he said one thing a year ago, and then what we're about to march into in just a little bit, he's saying something completely different. It's a completely different dude. Now, it could be the environment. It could be the situation, the trial, how certain groups were towards him to the point where he just snaps here and he's just like, F all y'all. F the culture, F you black people, and here's my problem with the black culture and all that stuff. Maybe that's what it was. Or he got in the room with the wrong kind of people. That's possible too over the course of a year, especially when you're mad, especially when you feel like you're wanting justice from, for the death of your own son. I mean, that stuff can boil up inside of you. But it's just interesting that, like I said, he turns. In the very beginning, he was like, I was not there to intimidate. I was not there to try to start nothing. All I was trying to do was be there in solidarity. But if you want me to leave, I'll leave. That's fine. I'll leave. But then, over a year, I'm sure a lot of tension grew over time as well. Okay. And yeah, he didn't say this on other shows. He didn't. He went to some serious channels like Newsmax crap and Megyn Kelly's show. He even went on Cuomo's show yesterday as well, which we might take a quick look at that after this, right? And he's a completely different person. He's talking completely differently. And it's like, wait a second, is this the same dude? But again, like I said, there could be multi-layers of anger, grief, rage, frustration, all of that, can make somebody go and snap. But like I said, and I'm going to keep saying it, you always have the opportunity to take the higher road. You always have the opportunity to do the right thing. Spouting out racist things, calling people out by their name and insulting them as well, I just don't think it's right. I get the anger. I get the frustration. But at the same time, this is not how you do it. But, like I said, I'm just me. That's just me. Okay, but let's continue. All right? Let's take a look.
Because there's no U-Haul behind a Hershey. You ain't taking nothing with you. You come in with nothing, you go out with nothing. Except for what you leave behind. And what you leave behind is your legacy. Austin's legacy will live forever. I myself will make sure of it. Not only myself, but many others.
Let me just say this really quick. Happy days, yeah. And I see that too. I can see that not helping his situation, the situation for his son. He's digging. Thank you so much for the super chat. But you said he's digging a big hole for his other son. That's what he's doing. I mean, some people will say yes. Some people will sit there and go no. I don't think it makes the situation any better. Again, as angry as you may be, this is not the way to do it. I'm sorry. This is just not the way you do it. You do this behind closed doors with your friends. That listening ear that's got your back, that won't go and repeat this stuff outside of that room that you're spouting this information in. Someone you can trust, because there's going to be a community that's looking at this, and it's only going to escalate the situation even more. Okay? Just so you know. But let's continue.
His brother, family members, communities. We've set up a scholarship in his name at Memorial High School. For every year, there's going to be the Austin Metcalf Scholarship. We want to give back. We want to help people. That's who Austin was. Austin helped people up. He inspired. He promoted. He encouraged younger classmen, his teammates. He was always there, always believing in them. There were so many kids who came up and spoke that night about how Austin touched people's hearts. And that's what you leave, is your legacy, your footprints on hearts. That's how people will be remembered. That's
true. That's very, very true. But I got, like I said, I got questions now. Hold on now. I got a few super chats here really quick. Ear function. Thank you so much for the love. I appreciate it. Metcalf's first cousin. Metcalf's first cousin run is the prison. I don't know. I guess you're saying runs the prison where Melo was supposed to go. Maybe this changed his outlook. Maybe, I don't know. That's interesting information if that's true. Allie, thank you so much for the love. I appreciate it. There were people taking a leak on Austin's grave and posting it on social media. See, I saw some photos, but I thought that they were all fake. Because you got like two black women in these photos standing up, acting like they're urinating, but it looked like AI, it looked fake. So maybe that's what it is. I don't know. He exploded in this interview, and some of it was cringe, but I wasn't the one gagged for over a year. That is true. That is also true. I mean, you got a lot of anger. You got a lot of pent-up anger building up over time. Over, a year, you're going to explode. But like I said, this is not the time to be going crazy on camera. You could talk about, hey, the gag order has been lifted. Here's my information. Here's how I feel about the situation. And you don't have to say anything about race, y'all. You don't have to say a damn thing about race. You understand? You don't have to say a mother-loving thing about race. You can still say, I'm freaking mad at that kid, and I hope he rots in prison. There's no racism in that sentence. Not at all. You see what I'm saying? So he could have said everything that he wanted to say without actually throwing in any of the racist stuff that he did end up saying. You see what I'm saying? But moving on. I could prep too. Thank you so much. You might say, instead of walking away when pushed, Austin's dad went for the heart. Innocent by their own standards. I mean, he went after everything. I don't know. He went scorched earth, y'all. He's going scorched mother-loving earth on this one for sure. But let's continue. Let's get a chunk of this because we got to get into the meat and potatoes, the stuff that y'all are waiting for.
And for anyone who knew Austin, who loved Austin, that memory will be carried on in their hearts forever.
Now, here's the thing. I got a question because we're going to hop into the next piece here in just a little bit, the stuff. Okay, we're going to get into the meat and potatoes here in just a minute. But I got a question for you guys, okay? There were a lot of his teammates, okay, that were there, taking the stand and speaking on behalf of what they saw in the moment that Karmelo Anthony plunged this knife into the chest of Austin Metcalf, okay? And, I got to use different words, so, I'm not trying to be heartless. I'm not trying to be rude or anything like that. I just got to use these code words when it comes to the act of sticking somebody with a sharp object, okay? So I got to use code words, all right? So with that being said, a good portion of those kids were black. A good portion of those kids were black or of some sort of minority, some other ethnicity aside from white that went up and spoke for him or spoke and said what they saw. Now, here's the thing. I don't know. A part of me feels like they weren't telling the entire truth. That's what I truly think. Remember, everyone had different accounts of what happened. One person said that it was Hunter that started the conversation and then Austin stepped up. Another one said it was totally cool until the end. He was totally fine and calm, calm and collected, and there weren't any issues, so on and so forth, okay? There were so many different ones, okay? Miss Independent, okay, this is not the first time that the dad was exposed. Interesting. I did not know that. Interesting. Okay, that's news to me. That's news to me. All right. But again, there were so many different accounts on what actually happened, which is a huge problem. Not all of them came in with a uniformed breakdown of, oh, this is why this happened and so on and so forth and and therefore that's how he got stuck, by Karmelo Anthony. That did not happen. It was a varying degree of different things. Some people said, the streets were saying that that Austin said something racist to Karmelo. Some people said that it was Hunter and Austin ganging up on Karmelo. But like I said, this is the thing. We don't have a full facts of everything. And that's the problem. But then when you hear what he says later on, it does make you wonder, like, could there have been a little sprinkling of racism in there in the conversation? Could it have been? Because he goes in. Mr. Metcalf goes scorched earth for sure. But let me get these super chats here really quick. Jacqueline, thank you so much. Anthony's family never acknowledged their son took a life. Heard a few lawyers say when he's up for parole, they take serious consideration from victims' families, and showing compassion has made a difference in parole. That's interesting. That's very, very interesting. If they're not acknowledging what was done, that's a bad look for him too. Regardless, that doesn't make the situation any better. It just fuels more hate. Just like I said, just like what Austin Metcalf's dad is saying here later, it's just making things worse, y'all. It's not making things better. It makes it a lot worse. It keeps fueling the racism flames. And he's throwing kerosene on this mother lover right now. Straight up, throwing kerosene. This is not good. At the end of the day, this is not mother loving good. I'm just skipping ahead real quick so we have it ready, okay? But that is very, very interesting. Let me get this. I think there was another super chat. Where did it go? There it is. If you live in the DFW area, you would know Metcalf family is well connected. What's done in the dark will come to light. Just wait and see. I would be very interested to see what would be exposed or come to light when the time is right, I guess, if there's something that needs to be out there. You see what I'm saying? But it is also, it's Texas, baby. It's Texas. It's Texas. All right. But let us continue with our conversation. All right. Now, here's the part where he starts talking watermelon felon. Okay. Shout out to Hype News, by the way. Shout out to Hype News for putting up this video. I forgot to give him some credit in the very beginning. But you can watch the whole doggone thing when you get some time. The whole doggone thing from beginning to end, from the rooter to the tutor, you can watch over there on Hype News. But let's continue.
And you die. I mean, this is all your personal choices. It's none of my business. I stay in my lane. Just don't come in my lane with your bullshit.
Hold on. I'm going to roll back just a little bit. This is the lead up into watermelon felon. Okay? So here it comes.
God says there's going to be people out there who will deceive you. People out there, I mean, if we want to go back Old Testament, eye for an eye, Sodom and Gomorrah, turn to stone, man lays with a man, you die. I mean, this is all your personal choices. It's none of my business. I stay in my lane. Just don't come in my lane with your bullshit. I respect everyone until they disrespect me. I've been disrespected by so many people, so many times while I've had to sit here and take it. I'm going to tell you right now, Charleston White, you think you're funny? We'll see who's laughing. Drew Anthony, you're a pussy and a coward, and you raised one. Kayla, you drunk bitch. What'd you do to that boy to make him stab somebody? My God, what kind of mother are you?
Okay, so first off, yikes. Okay. Now, I don't know personally, I don't know where this is stemming from. Okay. And again, I don't know what's been said elsewhere that he's responding to. I don't know, like you guys don't know what's been going on out here in these streets in real life, not just social media, but like, you know, maybe there were some run-ins with the families somewhere. I don't know. I honestly do not know. But this right here, I'm just going to scroll back a little bit. It's not good. Because here's the thing. What Karmelo Anthony did, he did on his own free will. He was the one who grabbed that knife in his hand and decided to do what he did, not the parents. The parents have nothing to do with this. They don't. Just like just like Jeff Metcalf has nothing to do with Austin Metcalf going up and making his choice to walk up to Karmelo Anthony and say, yo, you need to leave, bro. And whether or not he said, leave, if you don't leave, I'm going to beat your ass, or if he said, leave, I don't know. Okay? But I will say this. We can all agree on this is not very Christian of you. Now, is it? It's not a very Christian thing to do, saying this kind of stuff. Now, here it is. You lost your son. I know it's terrible. There's rage. There's anger. But again, like I said, just because I don't know the whole scope, because again, we don't know what happened for this whole year. Maybe they were attacking each other, the parents on both sides, the Anthony family and the Metcalf family just going head to head, bumping heads the entire time. I don't know. But still, shouldn't we be trying to take the high road? Period. Here, like I said, there's information that you're going to hear here that's thick that he didn't need to say at all. He didn't need to say this at all. He didn't need to get on a microphone get in front of a camera and say any of this. He really didn't need to do this. He really didn't. But he did. And like I said, this is not good. It's not good. Because before he said, you'll hear it in a little bit too. He's like, oh, it's not about race. This whole thing's not about race. But then he goes in on this racist rant. I don't know. Like I said, it's not good, guys. This is, whether you agree with him or not, this is not the time to say any of this crap. It's just not. But that's just me. Let's continue.
Kayla, you drunk bitch.
Hold on. I'm rolling it back a little bit more.
I'm going to tell you right now. Charleston White, you think you're funny? We'll see who's laughing. Drew Anthony, you're a pussy and a coward, and you raised one. Kayla, you drunk bitch. What'd you do to that boy to make him stab somebody? My God, what kind of mother are you? Hey, Kevin Hayes, you fucking liar. Day after it happened, how many lies did you sit and type up on your keyboard, you big keyboard warrior? You a big tough man. You still live in Baton Rouge? Remember you said you'd come to Frisco, buddy? You're supposed to find me. I told you we could sit down and talk. That's all you do. Talk, Mr. Squeaky Clean. You're the only one in your family without a damn record. I guess that's something to brag about in your culture.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, it doesn't get any better. Hold on. We're going there. Okay? We're going there. We have now entered the vortex, and there's no turning back. Sheila, thank you so much for the love. Thanks to Kendrick Lamar and all the donors for his appeal. Yeah, we'll see if it actually gets through. We'll see what happens. We'll see if it actually gets through. But thank you so much for the super chat. Okay? But let's continue. It doesn't get any better.
You people hang your hat on the dumbest shit I've ever seen.
Okay, we got to stop right there. You people? What you mean, you people? I'm a dude disguised as a dude dressed as another dude. Yeah. It's not about race though. But you people. You people.
Let me make one up.
Here
Y'all
we
can
go.
let me make something racist up so y'all can go viral. I got a new name for Mello, okay?
Here it
Because
is.
he was such this little boy y'all were trying to portray. How about Watermelon Felon? How's that one strike you? I hope he enjoyed his first night in that cell last night. Because he's going to have many nights to think about what the fuck he did. I forgave him, so I don't carry the hate and the anger.
He still sounds really angry, don't you think? I mean, I'm just saying. He sounds kind of angry, right? So I don't think he's over it yet. Is that safe to say? Yeah, I think that's safe to say. Just so you know, that's what I'm saying. Some of y'all are like, okay, he wasn't being racist. He starts off by saying, hey, how about this racist remark? I got a new one for him. Here's this. Racism. Watermelon felon. Have mercy. So, let us continue. He mad. He mad. Okay? He mad. Happy days. Thank you so much for the love. I appreciate it. You're not Ric Flair, Dad, and this isn't WWE. Out on these streets, your words have repercussions for your other son. Enough racist rhetoric. Agreed. Like I said, it's not going to make it better for him, okay? It's not going to make it any better for him or his son, you know, because there are people out here that will be mad about this, okay? Be mad, okay? But let's continue.
So I don't get ate up like cancer and kills you from the inside. It's like me drinking poison and hoping it kills you. Doesn't work that way. You gotta let that stuff go or it will kill you. It will eat you up inside. So when people ask me, how can you forgive him? If I didn't, I would have wound up killing him and going to prison myself. That's how stupid people, when you get irrational, because you can't make a good decision if you're emotional. Emotion and intellect do not mix. If you're emotional, you can't come up with a logical solution. It doesn't work. You have to be level-headed. You have to be clear of mind. When you become emotional and you make decisions, things can go very wrong. And you better hope there's a way out for you. Because some situations, as we all know, they don't turn out well if you make the wrong choice. Or you could just be in the wrong place at the wrong time in front of the wrong person. And I'm not just talking about Austin. Just go look, just visit Chicago for a weekend. How many shootings do they have? And they have gun laws. Woohoo! How's that working out for you guys? If you told me after 9/11 that New York would have a Muslim mayor in a sanctuary city, I would tell you you're crazy because we were all gung-ho, USA, all the way, patriotic, love my country. And now look where we're at. How do we get there? Who's responsible for our youth? Who? They're the leaders of tomorrow. What are you doing to prepare them? How are you teaching them? What are you showing them? When you act out and your kids see you, they think that's an appropriate behavior. They assume it's okay because mommy and daddy do it. All you people out there, all your little bots, all your little phone calls, all your death threats, and that who's that big fag dude from Arizona? Lady Gaga, gag on something? I don't know his name. Mr. Tough Guy talks big shit like he's gonna come find me. Oh, Gene Jeff. Guess what? Go suck a dick, dude. That's your favorite hobby. Tiffany Billions, you look like a fucking water buffalo. We're gonna start hurling insults. We can go back and forth. But here's the deal. I'm not gonna engage, bro. I'm gonna give you a little taste and that's it. I'm done. Because you know what? You're not worth the sweat off my fucking balls. You don't live rent free in my head. You don't get a second of me at all.
Okay, I'm going to pause that right there. Miss Maga Mandy just said R.I.P. Austin Metcalf. Yeah. Thank you so much for that super chat. You know, yeah, he shouldn't be gone. I agree with that too. It's sad. Like I said, no one wins in this situation, but woo, he mad. He mad. Like I said, I think there's a time and place for everything. Here's the other thing too that's a problem that I'm seeing too. Just saying this. Not only is he putting a target on his back or on his own son's back and possibly family, but he's also putting targets on all the names that he's mentioning right here too. So you see, this is reckless because this video has been shared quite a bit. People have really watched this video. And yes, the gag order's been lifted. Now he could just say what he really wants to say and all that. But this also could be very, very dangerous for not only just for himself, but also the people that he's naming in this as well. Okay. And hey, this literally allegedly came from an interview that he had on a show called Jinxed Reality. So it's not AI. It's not AI. And if it was AI, this is impressive long ass AI. 2.5 hours. It's over 2 hours and 35 minutes long of him just putting in his 2 cents about stuff. Okay. At the end of the day, this is him talking. This is the real deal Holyfield. We're going to continue on though.
You want to find me? You know where to find me. You think I'm scared? Underestimate me. That'll be fun. I'm not some tough guy, dude. Nah. I'm a real guy. You want to fuck around and find out, as y'all say? If you feel froggy, jump. I'm going to tell you right now, you're not going to like the landing. I have God on my side. I fear nothing. I can walk through the valley of death. I don't give a shit. I have the protection of God's armor. My statement that I didn't fully get to read because it was censored. Sweet.
One second.
I'm going to skip ahead here.
I want to say that one more time so it's loud and clear for everybody to hear and understand. A lie is temporary, but the truth lasts forever. Do you know where I found this quote? I know the person who's looking at me right now does. I appreciate it, Mr. Drew Anthony, off your Facebook page. How poetic justice is served. You just do a big softball and knock it out of the park. Thank you for making it so easy for me. So you can live with your lie if you want to, but my truth is forever. Just like the fact your son is a convict and a killer. Forever. Forever is a long time. What's your master plan, Mr. Anthony? To use your son as income and soak up as much money playing victim to line your pockets and then abandon him when he's at sentencing or victim impact? You just left him up there by himself? Amazing. Amazing. What about you, Drew? What kind of father are you? You want to talk about what kind of father? All right, let's talk about what kind of father you are. Let's talk about your arrest. Let's talk about your warrants. Oh, was it drugs? Coke? He did. Tell me some other shit. Let's pull it up. Because I'm welcome every one of you to pull up my criminal history. Someone who tried to make up some bullshit saying I'm a sexual assault person. Guess what? If you're convicted of sexual assault in Texas, you have to register. Please check the registry. Please check my background in criminal history. It's not there. You tried to spin a narrative to make me look bad because you look bad already by yourself.
You know, one thing that really does bother me about this whole case was the amount of stuff that came out, the amount of BS that came out, all the things that weren't true, all the lies, like all the fake crap that came out, which was bad, right? Which only made things worse about this situation. Because here's the thing, I mean, let's be real, guys. I mean, it almost seemed as if the world decided to just take this under their wing, and they decided, the world and the country at least decided this is going to be the thing that white and black people are just going to butt heads about for however long they're going to butt heads about this for. You know what I mean? However long they're going to be doing this for, that's what they just said. Okay, we're just going to keep on fighting about this because we're bored. We ain't got nothing else better to do except get angry about this thing. So we're just going to keep on pulling things out of our ass, making things up, because there was a lot of things that were made up for sure. Okay. Just so that people have something to get angry about and pump their fists up in the air for. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just being like, hey, 2 kids did something really, really bad and 1 kid's gone and another one's about to be gone. You know what I'm saying? It's really, really dumb, the amount of crap that came out here in these streets. Real talk. Buddha the rock star, thank you so much for the love. I appreciate it. You don't talk about serious matters if you don't have control over your emotions. Yep, that's what I think too. Like I said, he was getting interviewed, and I guess he had this. He made this as a choice. I don't know. He chose to just rant. And they didn't turn the camera off. They just kept on, letting him talk his talk. Charles White just retracted his support. Interesting, but it is what it is. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Yes, Mr. T. You know what I'm saying? Tons of misinformation on both sides, and the sheep fall for it every time. Thank you. Exactly. And that's the problem. You see what I'm saying? Because then all of a sudden it's something to stand for, something to be mad about, something to lose their mind about, so on and so forth. It's really, really dumb, but it's really true. So they make up stuff. They create rumors. I don't even know how these rumors are created. I really don't, but they are. Okay. And so it's like, this is just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. You know? It's just sad. All right. Let's continue on. Okay.
You fuck up all your own. I don't need to help you. I hope you're proud of yourself, bro. I hope you go home and tell your 3 little kids your brother's in prison because he's a dumbass and he stabbed someone. Tell me how you're going to parent the other ones. Tell me how you're going to explain to them that their brother is a killer. You're going to have family reunions? You're going to leave an empty chair for him? Are y'all all going to wear the striped suits or an orange jumpsuit in remembrance? I don't know. Your name will be forgotten in a matter of weeks or months or a year. But Austin's name, that lives on forever. It's a legacy. You know what they put in the yearbook? The cover of the yearbook said, "More than just." And you open it up, and the very first page is Hunter Metcalf carrying his brother's jersey of the first home game, running out of the tunnel. Probably one of the most emotional moments I've ever seen watching him play football because it was the first time he was not on the field with his brother. I can't imagine the mental fortitude that young man has, because there is no way I could have done or played a down, much less a season. The amount of pressure he probably felt, because he slid over to take Austin's position. They played together, inside, outside. Now Hunter takes over, he's inside. He leads the team. He wins. He has the most tackles in the district and had to miss a game due to a concussion. He gets all the honors. He's all district. He's this, he's that. He's team captain. He's Austin 2.0. But he's still Hunter Metcalf, not Austin's brother. He will make a name for himself, just like Austin did. But when they come running out on that field, him holding that jersey, and all eyes are on him, the whole world is watching. Made every news channel. You think we like the spotlight? You think I want to be here? I'm forced into this position. I didn't sign up. I didn't ask for my son to get murdered. But I have to deal with it in a constructive, positive way, because I still have to be a role model for Hunter. I still have someone who depends and counts on me. I can't let him down. It's the same way I feel about God. I don't want to let him down. But will I fail? Yes, sometimes I do. We all do. But do the best job you can, man. Be present for your kids. You can't get back time. Time is something. Can you make time? Can you spend time? Is there enough time? Is there a lot of time? Time is something that's very intangible. But one thing about time is it doesn't stop. Even though I felt like it stopped April 2nd, 2025. My life was forever changed. And I've had to deal with that. Megan's life has forever changed. It pains me to see the pain in her eyes. And it really pains me to see Hunter go through what he has to do and be as strong as he is. It's unbelievable. One of the best times, and this is a God thing. So we had the same hunting lease for 16 years. Since my boys were 2 years old, they had been going to hunt and go out, and we'd watch wildlife and look at deer and turkeys and see the cows, and and we lived outdoors. We'd sit underneath at night at the stars, and we had an app on the phone where you could pull it up and it would tell you the constellations. And I taught them about stars and how to navigate and how sailors did it to sail the seas. And I just taught them, this is the Milky Way, that's Orion's belt. I spent time with them. Time is the most important thing in life because you can't get it back. Because once it's gone, it's gone. It's like your kids grow up once. Don't miss it. Don't be absent. Don't work too hard because you think you're providing. You know what they want? They don't give a shit about their new clothes or their fancy Xbox games or what. Well, they may think that, but the truth of the matter is, when you look back on it and you see the time you either wasted or you spent it well.
Okay, so I'm going to skip ahead. Okay.
I don't know what kind of glamour shot you steal from other people.
Here it is. Let's move back here. This is This is pretty bad. One second, y'all.
Mims, what I'm going to do when I walk out of here today, I'm going to contact every news reporter I know, every social media influencer, every person who will listen. And I'm going to scorch you and tell them that you denied my son a diploma. Let's talk about 3 weeks earlier. Oh, that's right. You had an elementary teacher who got arrested for taking pictures of little boys. You think Frisco ISD doesn't have egg on his face already? You tripped over this murder case time after time. You can't wipe your face. It's fucking stained. What's the motto? Know every child's name. You're the leaders? I'm supposed to trust you with my kids? I trusted you with my kids, and what'd you do? You didn't have proper security in place. You didn't scan the athletes. How did he get a knife into the track meet? Because you're negligent. That's why. What'd you do afterwards? Oh, change the rules. Oh, shit. We got to do something. Yeah, you done fucked up. What are you going to do now? Resign? Retire? Good move, Mike. How's your wife, Lisa? You can run. You can never hide. You're a shit stain on Frisco ISD for the past 9 years as superintendent.
Damn.
Despicable coward who folds like a cheap tent under pressure from a piss-poor activist nobody who does infomercials about his company. Let me be clear that you're a fucking idiot, Dominique. Let me be clear. You couldn't put two sentences together without Chat GPT. Tiffany Billions. I don't know what kind of glamour shot you steal from other people and put up on your profile, but it don't match to your fucking goddamn water buffalo looking ass when I saw you at the courthouse. Charleston White, you look like a fucking crackhead. Even though you got money, you're the only smart person around. Ooh.
You heard that? No, I'll roll back. I want you guys to hear that. He almost said the N-word. You hear that? He went, "Neh, whoo." Ooh. Yeah. This is bad. Let's see. Angel Eyes, thank you so much for the love. I appreciate it. He's venting. Sure, he's venting. Okay. No one knows what it's like until they go through it. Losing a twin is something different. I feel for Hunter. I've seen this process firsthand. Peace to both families. Here's the thing, though. But this is my whole argument. Yes, he is venting, but he's doing this on camera. Do you understand? Like it's fine to have your frustrations, and you want to just be like that son of a million, you know what I mean, and just going in, right? I get it, but he did this on camera. By all means, vent to the people that you trust in closed quarters. You know what I'm saying? You can still be out there in the streets being like, it's not about race, guys. This is not about race. But then behind closed doors, you could be like, that, whatever. You know what I mean? Hey, fine, whatever. Okay. But at the same time, you're doing this on camera. On camera. This will stay with him. Unfortunately. Okay. And I'm not sitting here saying that it's going to have bad repercussions on him or anything like that. I don't wish that on anybody. Okay. But at the same time, come on, y'all. Come on. All right. He is saying things he shouldn't be saying on camera. That's it, you know? But let's continue. He didn't need to say what he said here.
You got money. You're the only smart person around.
See what I'm saying? By the way, hit that like button down below, please, and thank you. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, okay? Subscribe. We back. We had 2 days off, much needed 2 days off, but we back to have these conversations and all that and then some. So hit that like button down below, please, and thank you, all right? I think there's a time and place for everything. This was definitely not the time or the place to be doing this venting, all right? And I think we can all, well, for those of y'all who have some semblance of care and you know, and an IQ above room temperature, you're going to realize that, yeah, this was not the right time to be saying any of this stuff because it's now forever on the internet, okay? Who did this interview? Jinxed Reality did this interview. And it almost seems as if they just turned on the camera and just let him go, you know? And here's the other thing, too. I get it. A father's frustrated. He just lost his son in the most terrible of ways. He's going to want to express himself, so on and so forth, right? But at the same time, yeah, like I said, you know, it's like, go talk to your priest. Go talk to your pastor. Get your frustrations out to him. Go talk to a professional, right? Maybe some therapy, so on and so forth, right? Not get on camera and say this stuff. It's just, it's unfortunate, guys. It's just unfortunate. But let's continue. So yeah, he almost said the full word, but we know what he was trying to say. But again, all stuff he shouldn't be saying. Sorry. This is all stuff he shouldn't be saying right now. This is not the time to stoke the flames of division. This is just making it worse.
Ooh. Drew, you're just an idiot. If y'all want to talk to me, you know where I am. You never once apologized. You never once said you were sorry. You lied your ass off and tried to tell people you paid to offer to pay for my boy's funeral. You couldn't even offer your hand for a handshake. You're a grifting piece of shit. Your character says it all. I don't have to say a damn word. Your actions speak for themselves. You and your little faggot bow tie? What the hell is that, dude? Maybe you and Chris King are butt buddies.
Yikes.
Like y'all swap ties and shit. I don't know. He lives in Washington and he's lived here in Plano. He thinks he's some intelligent dude. Really? A 1989 Saab. Oh, I'm fucking impressed. Ooh. Look at me. I talk to my shit all day long. You put it on people so they can see me. I think you have some serious insecurities, bro. I'm a lawyer. Who gives a fuck? You're not a very good one. Oh, I've done this. I've done that. You have to brag on yourself? You have to blow your own fucking horn? Really? You're not a man, dude. You just want attention. Maybe your parents didn't give you love when you were little. I don't know. I don't know the way you are. Why? I can't explain it. And you know why? I don't give a shit. You're nothing to me. But yet, what'd you come up with the word? Metcalfians. I live in your head every day because you talk about me every day. Dude, thank you. I'm so flattered that you think about me. But I'm not your type. Sorry. I figure in a couple months you'll move on to the next hot topic. Or you'll have some legal crusade you can join, maybe. Or lead, possibly, in your 89 Saab. And the only thing about you is I like your dog. That's about it. In your house, dude, I'm not one to judge, but you don't live in some sprawling mansion. Really? Clean your house. You look like a fucking hoarder. Better yet, why don't you have Tiffany move in and y'all could live together and do a podcast? That would be fun. Stay out of my life. I'm not inviting you in. Go find somebody, go kick rocks in somebody else's backyard. Because if you come in my backyard, you won't be kicking rocks. I promise. To all the people that still want to come fuck with me, go ahead. I'm here. Guess what? I've taken every single blow you have given. And guess what? I'm still standing. I'm still here. All you irrelevant pieces of shit are going to dissipate. Like a piece of shit in my toilet. When I flush it, it just goes away. The same way, dude. You're all going to go away. Because guess what? Guess what? You can't make no more money. He's guilty. No more TikToks and debating. Oh my God, Mr. Metcalf is this. He did this. Oh my God, look, Karmelo's a little baby. He's innocent. No, he's fucking guilty. He's going to prison. Yay! Am I supposed to be excited? Guess what? I'm not. Because I don't promote and I don't accept. I feel sorry for that young man. He's fixing to live a living hell. Not that he doesn't deserve it. Yes, he does. But I'm human. And I'm sorry. I don't wish harm or ill will on anyone. It's not the Christian thing to do, man. It's not the way I was raised. It's not what I was taught. I don't know if it's right or wrong. I just know it is what it is. You be you, I'll be me. You stay in your lane, I stay in mine. I respect you, you respect me. We get along. We don't fight. We don't stab each other in the heart. If we have a disagreement, you know what? We can use words. And also, we can agree to disagree, and that's okay. But what's not okay is when you lose control and you do something that you can't take back. And now you're responsible. Let's open up for some questions, guys.
So what? So you see what I mean? Like it's here's the thing. Let me just say this really quick, okay? First and foremost, we got to look at the side of this is somebody who's grieving, okay? This is somebody who's going through a lot. I can understand that piece. So it is wild because the roller coaster ride we just saw. He's going off. He says all this racist stuff. He almost calls Charleston White the N-word. Just different things, right? It's a roller coaster ride that he's going through. I get it. The emotions that he's got inside of him, but then he's like, "But I'm a peaceful man." We skipped through a bunch of stuff, okay? But 2 hours in, he is basically been going on a 2-hour rant. And I know that when you're ranting, it's not going to be, it's not well choreographed. You see what I'm saying? It's just going to be him angry, just kind of blowing up, right? And getting all his frustrations out. And I think that this is what is going on. No, I'm not excusing his racism at all. All I'm saying is that when I listen to him being like, but I keep, it's kind of like, oh, but I keep it all inside. But he just blew up. And it's like, well, you just said all of this other stuff. You called people out by their name. And then you said racist things. And then instantly you're going, but I'm a Christian man. Oh, I'm not racist. But then you're almost calling somebody the N-word. You're almost doing certain things. You're going in on the, yes, contradictions galore. You see what I'm saying? And it's like, wow, I get it. He's going through a lot of emotions. He's very angry, There's a lot of emotions going on. But like I said, this is not the time to be hopping onto these platforms, okay, and saying these things out to the public. I get that you're angry. I get that you've had enough and you need to express yourself. But that's why you go and you pick up like a new hobby, you know, start going to the gym, start running, learn how to knit, okay, learn how to write poetry, write it in a mother-loving book, whatever it may be. Coming out on these platforms and saying what he's saying like this is not, in my personal opinion, the way to go. This is when things get very bad. This is where people can take apart all the things that he has said and use that against him, okay? Or use it to fuel whatever frustrations they may have about the situation, okay? Giving people excuses, giving them an opportunity to have them snap is never a good thing, okay? But there are some parts here that I do want to share, though, because I mean it is insane. So I'm just gonna pull this up here instead of me trying to find it throughout the whole thing. Like I said, this is just insane. This is just absolutely crazy. But he goes off on slavery and all that. Let's take a listen.
Support somebody blindly, even though they did wrong. You're going to support someone who does something against the law. You're encouraging and saying it's okay because he's a certain color. Oh, you've got more melanin than me. Ooh, so you get more privileges, more entitlement? Because 400 years ago, someone actually sold you to us, and we took you over here and put you to work. And then we had a civil war to free your ass.
Civil War was not about that, but you know, we're not here to talk about we're not here for a history lesson, okay? But this is very interesting, okay? This is very interesting, just so you know. Civil War wasn't about slavery, guys, just so you know. If you know, they put it in the history books to make us think that it's literally about slavery, but that wasn't the main reason. But we're going to continue on, okay? Let's just continue on.
And now you want to talk shit? Oh, I'm being so oppressed. You couldn't even vote 1960. Look how far you've come. Look at all the free shit we give you.
Look at all the free-ish that they give black people. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is the stuff right here. This rant that he goes on. This is not bringing people to, well, he's calling, it's almost like a dog whistle, okay? He's dog whistling right now because there's only a certain corner of the world that's going to listen to this, okay? And they're going to be like, yeah. Ooh, he's my kind of guy. I will follow you to the depths of hell, brother. You know what I'm saying? This is some dog whistling right here. It is. All right. But again, like I said, this is a conversation that he could have done at another time. But he decided to do it right here on a live, on a platform for everyone to listen. Okay? I'm just saying, real quick, hold on. Somebody just said, check my super chat. I didn't see moon-shaped glass. Could you just like copy and paste what you said? I didn't see it. I'm sorry. We're looking at video, so it's hard to watch the live or the chat, you know what I mean, like a hawk. If you could just copy and paste it, okay, and maybe put some emojis in it so I can just make sure it just pops up in the corner of my eye, okay? I apologize. I did not see it, but send it to me, okay? But again, like I said, this is very interesting, right? You know, and he's saying things that are not entirely correct, but, you know, it is what it is, baby, you know? Like I said, it's dog whistling. It's definitely dog whistling right now. Co, thank you so much for becoming a member. Welcome. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the family. Yeah. No, he's going ham. He's going scorched earth. He going Yeah, this is a dog whistling. He dog whistling right now because he's saying certain things that only a certain demographic and a certain, pair of ears are going to listen to and go, damn right, brother. I'm with you, man. You know what I mean? This whole rant here it's no bueno. Okay. It's no bueno, but we'll see what happens, man. Let's continue.
You're not oppressed. You're fucking entitled.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't mean to jump in like this. Okay, so first off, he did say, look at what we gave you, right? So we should be, as black people, because he's clearly talking about the blacks. We should be very thankful for us getting the opportunity to vote. Okay, cool. Okay, if our votes actually did matter. Sorry, I'm saying it. But anyway, moving on. On top of that, now he's saying that we just get everything handed to us. But here's the thing, though. The last I checked, the black community is still oppressed. There's still oppression going on in the black community, okay? And there's various other groups of people that are also oppressed, okay, aside from the black community, all right? So yeah. So again, no, we still have problems. If this was a utopia, then what happened to Austin Metcalf would not have happened. Or actually, if it still happened, there wouldn't be a divide about it. There would not be, on top of the crime, slathered racism and the color of our skins on top of that. If we lived in a utopia, this would just be a right or wrong situation. You see what I'm saying? But for some odd reason, we got to slather in a whole layer of racism on top of it. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah. No, see, but this is the thing. This is the problem. This is what puts him out into another demographic or out into another, what's the word? Not in the place, not in the cubby hole I thought he was in before, like a year ago. Now he's in a completely different cubby hole, if that makes any sense. Because he's just not all of it was ignorance, but there was some ignorance in there. You understand? Him telling us about how his son passed away and all that, that's not ignorant. It starts getting ignorant when you start going, you people and your culture and going off on all that. We're going to go into it. Miss Independent, thank you so much. Second time, same speech. He did it years ago. I didn't know that. Thank you so much, Miss Independent. Thank you. I did not know that. Supermay, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's continue on, though.
You know what DEI stands for? Yeah. Means I don't have to be fucking qualified. I just have to be a certain color or race or gender.
Okay, so he got that last part right. Yes, gender, but honestly, white women actually capitalize off of the whole DEI more than African Americans and black people, just so you know. I'm just spitting facts, guys. I know some of y'all. I already know some of y'all stand on one side of the political aisle, and y'all just gonna be mad for me saying these things. But again, like I said, he's saying things that are not entirely accurate. Okay, I'm sorry. He's saying things that he's heard through, I don't know, through his own conservative. I mean, clearly he's conservative. Okay, grapevine, and he's just on that tip. Okay, he old school MAGA. He old school MAGA. Okay, I'm not saying that's a good or bad thing. I'm just saying he old school MAGA. Let's get into this. Happy days. Thank you so much for the love. The relatively small but affluent town of Plano, Texas is the microcosm that breeds the sort of ignorance you're hearing from this man. Well, I just want you to know this microcosm is everywhere. It's not only just in Plano, Texas, but I appreciate you bringing that up and you know, dropping some knowledge on us. Okay, but again, like I said, he's saying the same type of rhetoric we've heard on this platform from other people a million times before, and they're saying things that that facts don't back up. Just so you know. Yeah. Fox News, you're just hearing some stuff, or you're hearing from a buddy of yours that you like, you appreciate, you respect, you share a couple drinks with him, maybe a good scotch or a good bourbon, and you just hear what he says, and you're like, oh, it must be facts, and that's it, right? Yep. White women. Yes, Miss Independent. And I know people get mad about that, but it's the truth. Thank you so much for the super chat. DI benefited white women and vets mostly. Yes, it did, dagnabbit. Just so you know. Okay, but let's continue. We're not here for a political conversation, but I want to make sure that is abundantly clear, okay? These things that he's putting out here, it's feeding to a specific group of people, a specific demographic. And they want to hear this. They're loving it. Like I said, it's a dog whistle. Let's continue. Is this dog whistling? Okay? It be dog whistling, baby. Let's continue.
Whose broad-ass idea was that? I don't know about you, but when I grew up, there was no participation trophy.
Yeah, that's stupid. I'm sorry, I got to stop that. I do agree. I do agree with that, okay? Like, what's the deal with these participation trophies? Okay, I agree with that. That's the one that's the only thing so far in this little clip that I'm sitting here going like, I agree. Okay, I agree with that. Participation trophies are kind of, they're just dumb. Okay, kids need to learn about winning and losing, and that's it. And knowing how to deal with the agony of defeat, and knowing how to win like an adult, right? Not, doing the victory lap in your face, nana boo boo type stuff. I can prep too. Thank you so much for the super chat. You're criticizing him for doing the same thing for the same that the Anthonys and the supporters are doing, but not seeing the hypocrisy at all, or in it at all. Well, I haven't heard the Anthony family say their stuff yet. You see what I'm saying? And we've seen and heard what the Anthony supporters have done, and that is disgusting as well. And the people that are Austin Metcalf supporters and the stuff that they've said is absolutely disgusting and wrong too. I've never skipped that. Okay, just so you know, I can prep too. I have never skipped that. All right, all of this is very bad. I even said, and I'll say it again right now, no one won. No one's winning in this case. Okay, no one's winning in this case. The only thing I've seen or heard from the Anthony family is that they said we should have not listened to the people saying get a white lawyer. We should have gotten a black lawyer. That's the only thing I've heard them say. But as far as their supporters, that doesn't reflect on them unless they go on to an interview and they're peeing, they're depicted peeing on Austin Metcalf's grave, then that's wrong. If they're doing the same thing as what their supporters are doing, that's wrong. You see what I'm saying? Absolutely wrong. But I've yet to see anything from that family, except basically being like, we're getting threats. We keep getting doxxed. We had to move a couple times. Y'all putting out this BS saying that we went out and bought a new car and all that. And it's like, with the money that we raised from Give, Send, Go, that is entirely incorrect. All that. I've never heard them say anything about like, F the Anthony family, so on and so forth. I've yet to see that personally. But the supporters are diabolical out here, but they're diabolical on both sides of the fence. The only difference that I'm seeing so far is that you got Mr. Metcalf right here saying all of this here. And the Anthony family, I have yet to hear them say anything like this at all. Now, this could be Metcalf's way of doing, Jeff Metcalf, his way of doing a victory lap after this verdict and the sentencing. Maybe this is his version of being like, ha, I got you, bitch. You know what I mean? I don't know. But I will say that I have yet to see the Anthony family say anything except they're going, we are fighting for our son. We're just fighting for our son. Here's the other thing, too. Somebody just asked about the press conference that they had when Jeff Metcalf showed up, and they asked him, like they were like, hey, we cannot do this press conference with him here. I'm sorry. I don't blame them for being a little concerned about, we don't know what their dad is about to do. You know, it's like we didn't do this. It's our son who's alleged of doing this. I mean, he did it, but you get what I'm saying, right? So it's like, hey, we don't feel comfortable with him being in the room because we don't know what he's going to do. I understand that. I completely understand that. I don't think that's out of pocket or disrespectful whatsoever. I don't. And we talked about it at that time too. Like, what are you going to do? Oh yeah, stay. Come on, stay with us. When you never met the guy before in your life and your son just took the life of his son, you don't know what he's capable of doing. You see what I'm saying? So again, I have yet to see the Anthony family do anything out of pocket. The Anthony family supporters, they can't speak for them. They don't represent, they don't speak for them or represent them or control those people. They want to go and do what they do. That's what on them. But the difference is he is on this microphone. He is in front of this video or this camera saying all of this. It's a massive difference. He didn't need to go here. Real talk. Okay? I don't want to go there. He didn't have to go there. He really didn't have to go there, but he's going there. Let's continue.
There wasn't a safe space created for me because my feelings were hurt. We had to take actual responsibility for our own actions. Wow, what a concept. If you want society to change, if you want a better place for your kids, then get involved in your kids' life, in your community, in your church. But don't sit on your couch and bitch when it doesn't go your way.
I feel that right there, he has a point right there. He does. And I think that is the same thing for every person, even with this country. Those that are sitting there going like, angry, angrily gesticulating, being like, oh, the country's going to hell in a handbasket, he's messing it all up or whatever, right? Instead of sitting on your ass and complaining about it, do something about it. You see what I'm saying? Get involved. Try to make changes in your community. I agree, but that's more than just black. That's everybody, baby. That's everybody.
Next question.
Can I ask a question real quick? Hey, Jeff.
Truth, we're trying to only take questions from the list here.
Oh, okay.
Is there a way to contribute to the scholarship fund that is in memory of Austin?
Yes, there is. I believe it was posted at some point on my Facebook page. I know I dropped a $5,000 donation myself into it. Now, Megan, she needs to be credited. She was the one and friends of hers who got that all set up. Also, Halo Pizzeria. Both boys and Megan worked there. That was not her full-time job. That's her second job. She's very successful with a home builder in the DFW area. So that's not her only job. But the owner, I believe her name's Carrie, very, very great individual and has done fundraisers for Austin. And they were also instrumental with connecting with the school to set up the school scholarship fund that we did for Austin. And we did give it away this year. I think it was to Kayvon. I think it was Kayvon who got the scholarship this year. But it will continue every year. I will see if I can't find the link. I'll give it to Sarah and she can repost it. Next question.
This is actually from a twin mom. She wants to know, did Austin and Hunter have their own language to communicate with each other?
Yes. Not only through verbal, but through also hand motions. some secret sign language. I'm not privy to it. We actually, when they were born, this is a true story. I had to take a permanent marker, and this was Hunter, and we would color in his black or his toenail black so we could tell them apart. Because you put them on the floor and they crawl around, it's like a shell game. Which one? Where did he go? I don't know. So we told Hunter he's he's Native American from the Black Toe tribe. But one thing is for real. We are Native American. I have my Indian card and so do the boys. So if you want to talk about stolen land, yeah, that starts here. We were here before y'all were. They took all our land and put us on a reservation. They just brought you guys over on a boat. Next question. Which one? Where did he go?
I mean, do we need to go any? And do we need to do any more? LOL. That's cute. Yeah. Hold on.
I don't know. So we told Hunter he's he's Native American from the Black Toe tribe. But one thing is for real. We are Native American. I have my Indian card and so do the boys. So if you want to talk about stolen land, yeah, that starts here. We were here before y'all were. They took all our land and put us on a reservation. They just brought you guys over on a boat. Next question.
I mean, yeah. Okay. So you can't, you can't make this up. Okay. This is all, I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, of course, he goes on to say stuff like, black fatigue is real, and he continues on talking about like, baby mamas and all that. Hold on. Let me see if I can find that part. Hold on.
To us, and we took you over here and put you to work. And then we had a civil war to free your ass. Doesn't go your way. Next question. But it will continue. Thing is for real. We are Native American. All types of justice. Street justice, legal justice, but no justice. No. Austin will never come back to that door again. That boy, he has the ability right now, actually, to be out before he's 40. He could still have a life and kids.
See how you said boy? Moving on.
You tell me, you think that's justice? Nah. No, I'm not happy with the sentence. No, there was no justice served. It's a process that we have in place to control our society. They're called laws, and we have to abide by them. I'm no different than anybody else. I have to abide by them too. So whatever decision the court made, I have to abide by, whether I like it or not. Life is kind of like a shit sandwich. No matter how much bread you got, it still tastes like shit when you eat it. Next question.
Do you think that Carmelo Anthony ever showed any form of remorse?
Zero, none whatsoever. The family who continue to spread lies. Kevin, hey, Mr. fucking Squeaky, you're silent all of a sudden. Where'd you go, bro? Huh? Thought you'd come visit me. You're the only one without a criminal record. I mean, you can cross straight lines and not worry. Come on. I'll promise. All my ARs are locked up. You're safe here. What about all you other grifters who want to jump on board? All y'all think since you have a phone and a voice that you're important? Oh, look at me. I have a platform. I got followers. That's your life. That's your identity. Good for you. It works for you. Hey, man, that's your gig. Cool. Doesn't bother me until you bring it in my lane. You bring your shit in my lane, I'm going to run your fucking ass over. You understand that? Don't underestimate old man. Anybody seen Dirty Harry? Clint Eastwood? Anybody know who that is? If you're old, you do. Yeah. Make my day.
You know what's interesting is the lot. He has a lot of sayings. I've noticed that throughout this whole thing. He's got sayings. You know, it's don't kick rocks in my backyard, something like that, right? It's the make my day. It's the poop sandwich. Doesn't matter how many pieces of bread you got. It still tastes like poop. You know what I mean? He said ish, but I'm trying to keep it clean because they're kids in the room, I'm sure. But again, yeah. This is not good, guys. It's just not good at the end of the day. Hella Scary, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it, Pascal. It's more of what they didn't say in pertaining to Karmelo Anthony's parents. They didn't take any accountability / apologize, and they encouraged the crowd by yelling, "This is racist." Well, there were family members that did come out saying that this was a legal lynching, right? There were people that actually said that. Family members, people who were supporters of Karmelo Anthony, but I didn't see the parents say that. I've yet to see the parents say that. And I've watched and listened to the interview that we are probably going to be watching at some point tomorrow. I didn't see him saying them going like, hey, keep saying this, that, and the third. I think that they believe that there were certain things that were not going in their favor. I think no black jurors at all in that jury pool is a massive problem and one of the things that they are leaning on. I think that they're upset that they did not have a lawyer that was willing to fight for them. That's what they said, that they feel like it would have been different if it was a black juror. Black judge, or not judge, a black lawyer, if they had a black lawyer. But so far, like I said, from what I've seen, unless something's changed from over the past 2 days, I have yet to see them go and say like, burn this whole place to the ground and, this is all such and such, you know what I mean? And yes, their spokesperson was not the best person to have as their spokesperson. I would have told them, please distance yourself. Please do not use this guy as your mouthpiece. This is not the right person to use. But they chose that guy. Why? I have no earthly clue. And I feel like that guy used this platform as an opportunity to promote his organization rather than just being there on behalf of Karmelo Anthony and Karmelo Anthony's family. He was constantly throwing in his brand. It was constantly branding. I don't think it was cool. I didn't like that. I will say that. I wasn't cool with it, especially with his background. I'm like, with that kind of background, he may not be the best person to use, and they still went with him. But like I said, other than that, they're not out here saying stuff like this. They're not out here saying stuff like this. I tell you what, but let's continue.
Make my day, motherfucker. Next question.
The next question is, why didn't the prosecution call anyone for statements before sentencing? Why?
I was kept in the dark a lot to preserve the integrity of the case from the DA. So I was pretty much only notified when stuff was actually fixing to happen that was going to affect me. So I really don't know the answer to that question. Next question.
Okay. Next question. Well, this next one is not a question. They think that you should run for governor. Um,
Let me rephrase this. Thank you, but I will tell you this right now: there are too many skeletons in my closet. Somebody knows where a couple of the bodies are buried, so I can't. So I'm really not into politics. Like I said, this wasn't about race. Please don't politicize it. Besides, politicians, most of the time when their mouth is moving, they're lying.
Interesting. He says this isn't about race, but he just said a whole bunch of stuff. He just said a whole bunch of stuff earlier. Like, come on.
they also believe that you should start a podcast, but maybe we could talk about that another time. Well, go ahead now.
I have been approached for documentaries, books, podcasts, speaking appearances, and I really don't know what I'm going to do. I haven't decided. Like I said, my whole focus was on this trial. That was my finish line. And now that I've reached it, I need to take a little time to decompress, get my head screwed on straight, and figure out what I am. How can I best contribute to society? What is it I can do to help? Because I told you when things happen in your life, your priorities change. Like when I had cancer, one of the things, and I will recommend this. This was a movie I saw many years ago, and it changed my life. And it's called Pay It Forward. And I still do it to this day. I did it this morning, matter of fact. I took my mom to breakfast. We were eating breakfast. This 81-year-old man walks in with his little service dog. He sits down. He has a Charlie Kirk shirt on, Marine veteran hat. He looks over. I said, "Hey, man, I like your shirt." And I said, "Hey, you vet?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "I appreciate your service." First thing he says is, "I'm sure glad that trial's over." So I don't really want to speak across the room. So I get up and walk over to the man. And I said, "I am too." I said, "I'm Austin Metcalf's father, Jeff Metcalf." And I had this shirt on. He said, "I know who you are. And I just want to extend my condolences to you. And I'm so sorry." Before I left, I told the waitress, "Come here. I want to pay for this man's breakfast. Do not tell him until after we're gone. I'm not looking for recognition. But you watch the movie, Pay It Forward. It will impact you. Maybe not the same impact it had on me. I don't know. But I know it changed my way of thinking forever." Now, I've done this numerous times because one, I'm not looking for recognition. I don't tell people about it. I don't broadcast it. I damn sure don't go live with it. It ain't about me. It's about you paying it forward. I've done it in Starbucks line. "Hey, car behind me. I got it. Cool." I can tell you another story. 6 years ago, I took my boys out. We ate at Outback Steakhouse. There was a young lady over there and she was in tears. I don't know why she was distressed. I have no clue. I asked the waitress, "Hey, I want to pay for her meal just after we're gone." 4 months later, we go back to the same restaurant. Me and my boys. Waitress goes, "I know you." At first, I was a little panicked. "Oh, God, I don't remember you. Did I take you out? I'm so sorry. I don't remember your name." No. She goes, "You're the guy who paid for that woman's meal." And I said, "Yeah, that was me." Her husband had just passed away from cancer. I didn't know how to respond. Like, I had no idea. And she goes, I know. But what you did, what you showed me, touched me to where I do what you do now. So what do you mean? You pay it forward too? She goes, is that what it's called? I said, well, there's a movie, and yes, that's the way I refer to it, is I pay it forward. I don't look for recognition. I help. If I see a situation where I can help, I just do it. You don't need my name. I don't need a picture. God sees. God sees all. It's who I am. You know what? It makes me feel good at night so I can sleep because I'm a good person for the most part. There is a side of me that you don't want to see, but I know exists. I buried it a long time ago and I keep it buried because if it ever comes out, somebody's going to get hurt. And that's not me.
So here's the thing. All right. Clearly you guys can see, I mean, like, he says a lot of different things in this interview, or in this discussion / interview that he does. And, you know, again, it's very shocking stuff that he says, and racist stuff too. Like I said, I think there's a time and place for everything, but this is not the time, nor is it the place to be saying this kind of stuff here. That's just my thoughts on this. You know, I understand that he's grieving. Trust me, I understand that he's grieving. All right. I understand that, you know, that there are emotions that are high. You know, people are going to feel some type of way about this stuff. Okay. But, you know, like I said, it's, I don't know. You know, it's really upsetting that, you know, there are so many people that have been standing on one side or the other with this case, you know, and it can't just be like, hey, let's just see what's really going on here. Let's go down to the facts and find out what's going on. Everyone decided to take a side instantly solely because of the color of these kids' skin. And that's the sad part of it all. Now, I'm telling you right now, it doesn't make the situation any better when you have somebody out here saying what they're saying like this. Because again, like I said, he didn't deserve to die. We can all agree on that. But then at the same time, Karmelo didn't need to be told to leave. So again, very, 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 very sad stuff, guys. No one wins at the end of this, but there's a lot of people that really just are trying so damn hard for it to go a certain way, or they just want to be right, or they just want to win. And like I said, it's not right. It's not right. You know, as much as I would hope that we have grown as a people, okay? These are the kind of moments that make me realize how much work we still have to do as a people. We're not out of the darkness yet. We're not. Okay? Yeah, it's bad. It's sad. And I know he is, you know, the dad is going through some stuff. Let's not forget that. All right? Let's not get it twisted. His dad is going through some serious stuff. I get it. But again, though, you know, I feel like he could have been a little bit more diplomatic with what he was saying. Because again, there were certain things, feels like dog whistling. Feels like he was saying those things for that specific group of people because he wants that support, right? He wants those people. And again, there are people on both sides, you know, in different races that are on his side, that are saying condolences to Austin Metcalf's dad, to Jeff Metcalf. I can only imagine what he's going through mentally, okay? But he really didn't have to go the route that he did go down with this interview. How, at the end of this, we should be looking at this and going, like, after this trial, not this interview, but after this trial, we should be looking at this situation and saying, how can we transcend from this? How can we be better from this? That's it. That's what we should be focusing on as a people. And also, we should be looking at what was going on outside and also what was going on inside that courtroom as if they were holding a mirror to all of us to see the harsh and ugly truth about who we are as a people right now. So I would hope at some point people would learn, okay, we need to change our ways. We need to be better as a people. Stick to the facts, not feelings. Stop putting color into the conversation unless color is the reason why the crime happened, the tragedy happened. But if it's just a bunch of kids from rival high schools just talking ish to each other, one thing leads to another, and somebody loses their life, then it should only be on that information. But unfortunately, this case took a turn very quickly, very early on. We all need to be better. I can prep too. Thank you so much for the super chat. You just said a little while ago, Pascal, thanks for engaging with me today. Although I can seem contrarian, is not to troll, but to have meaningful discourse with you. And I think it's been fruitful. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you saying that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And again, like I said, of course, we're here to have this conversation. We're here to talk. We're here to get this, to talk about everything, even the hard stuff, okay? This is what we're here for, to discuss the easy and the hard stuff. The news is never fun. The news is never just a cakewalk, and we have to realize that. We definitely have to realize that. SAS 120 or 12005. I needed this today, Pascal, because I cried for both sides of the family. Yeah, I mean, for both families, absolutely. Because again, no one wins. No one won in this situation. Sure, Papa Metcalf is very happy. Papa Metcalf is happy. You could tell. He's happy. You saw it in the press conference after the sentencing. He was giddy. He had a smile on his face, and he got what he feels justice being served. And not fully served. He's not fully happy. I think he wanted him in there, okay? I think he wanted him in there, like locked up for life. But that's not in the cards for Karmelo Anthony. I think, especially with that trial, he's very lucky he got 35 years. Could be out in 17 and a half years. He got really lucky, y'all. Look at the trial. It was a landslide. And there's no argument about that. Now, was there wrongdoing there? Was he bamboozled? I don't know. Okay? I don't. Okay? But no, Cat Floyd, here it is. And I agree. Okay? Yes. He didn't have time to speak. He couldn't speak at all because of the gag order. So I'm sure things are building up, right? He's speaking now. Pray for the Metcalf family. I say pray for both of them, both families, Anthony and Metcalf family, period. Okay, their hearts are broken. Give them time to heal. Yes. So he should have done that exactly, Kat. Take time to heal. And then when he gets his mind right and he's healed, then he can do all the interviews he wants. But right now, when he's angry, when he's pissed off, when he has nothing but rage in his system, and he's dealing with all these, all these buttholes that are living out here, just these QWERTY keyboard little bitches getting on trying to make trying to get something arise out of him, when all that kind of subsides, then you go and you do these interviews, not right after the verdict has been made and you're still fuming and you're still pissed off. When you get a little bit of time to have a little bit of peace in your heart and get a chance to just process everything. But that's not what he did here. You see what I'm saying? And I'm not here trying to make excuses for him. What he did was racist, in my personal opinion. He said a whole bunch of stuff that he did not need to say, period, point blank. And a lot of those things that he said were not accurate at all whatsoever. And we didn't even talk about the part where he talked about several baby mamas and living off of welfare and all that stuff. We didn't even see that part. Okay. But he also said those things too, As much as he said, it's not about race, he definitely went in and made it seem like it was. So again, it's not, it's not about race, but then you say all this racist stuff, It's crazy. It's crazy. It's unfortunate. It's crazy and unfortunate, guys. But again, he got to say what he wanted to say. Hopefully he's happy that he got that out of his system, okay? That he got that all out his doggone system, okay? I really do hope that he's satisfied, okay? But then he did an interview, I want to pull up real quick, with Cuomo. Completely different. Take a look at this.
Obviously, sir, I am very sorry to have to meet you under these circumstances. How is the family coping to make it through this time?
Well, we all grieve differently. Myself, my son, Megan. It's been an emotional roller coaster. I'm exhausted spiritually, mentally, physically. So it's taken a great toll on all of us, and we're still navigating grief, where it's going to take us.
What do you tell yourself about why this happened?
I don't know the answer. I really wish Karmelo would have testified. So that's the big question is why?
Here's the other thing, too. I would have really loved to have seen Hunter Metcalf go up on and testify as well. I really wanted to hear both of them. I wanted to hear Hunter, and I for damn sure wanted to hear Carmelo Anthony for sure. But we didn't get any of those. Why didn't we get Hunter? Why didn't we? He was the other person. He was the other eyewitness there. Why didn't we hear from Hunter? Why did Karmelo not take the stand? From an interview that the Breakfast Club did, okay, with the Carmelo Anthony parents, they said that he wasn't supposed to take the stand at all. That was a rumor, which I find also very interesting. It would have been nice to see both of them go up there and talk, just to get more of a better idea of what happened here. But let's continue.
And since he chose not to testify, I'll never know that answer.
And you say that haunts you because what would that mean to you to know?
No, it actually doesn't haunt me. It is what it is. I don't care what reason you give me. My son's gone. He's never going to walk through the door again and hug me. So realistically, I don't give it a second thought. We're moving forward. We're not looking in the past. So I need to focus on my other son and my own mental health, and just move forward and keep Austin's legacy alive for as long as I live.
How does it affect this situation that they weren't just brothers, they were twins, and of course his brother was there and witnessed all of this?
I can't imagine, first of all, having a brother murdered in front of me and then actually holding him in my arms trying to make the blood stop. I can't fathom what my son is going through and went through. I know during the court trial, there was some body cam footage played, and I could hear him screaming in the background. Oh my God, someone help. It's my twin, it's my best friend. Coach, help, help, God please help, help. That was probably the most painful part of the entire trial because I had never had access to that before. I had seen the video of the event, but never the body cam footage, and it really it rocked me to my core.
How did you arrive at the decision that even though you don't know why, even though you don't love the sentence, that when it comes to how you feel about Karmelo Anthony, that there is forgiveness for you? How?
That's easy. It's my faith. I mean, I'm not perfect, but I mean, I'm a Christian. And it says, you know, it talks about forgiveness in the Bible. And one thing about forgiveness, people need to understand this. It's not that I'm giving him a pass and saying, oh, it's okay. Forgiveness is actually for me. It allows me to not carry around hate, anger, rage, revenge, any of that. It will eat you up like cancer if you let that dwell inside of you. So you know, your best bet, if you're a Christian, is to forgive. That doesn't say forget. It doesn't say, oh, you're free from consequence. It's actually freeing you so you're not a prisoner of your own mind and your own self. You have to be able to trust God, and that's what I believe.
Profound. In your understanding of what this was about, you're saying that the overlay of race is not relevant to you. You don't think that that's what this was about?
No, sir, not at all. I said from day one this was not a black and white race issue. First of all, love doesn't see color, hate doesn't see color, God doesn't see color, crazy doesn't see color. So this was a right or wrong, not a human black or white race issue. This was a right or wrong issue, and it was a human issue.
Hold. Okay, let him finish.
That's the basis of it. We all bleed the same color.
Okay, you see what I'm saying? So we just saw basically a rough run of a 2.5 hour interview, right? Where he was in, I would think, he was in a chat room filled with his peers, and he was able to say what he wanted to say. And he even said in that interview, just to be nice, okay? But he said it isn't about race, and then he went ham on the black community, okay? And was just going in. But then he goes on here, and he's sitting here saying, well, you know, crazy doesn't see color, he's saying it's nothing about race. It's not about race. This is what he was saying in the very, very beginning of this whole thing, which made me like him. You see what I'm saying? It made me like him in the very beginning because I was like, oh, so he's not going to fall into that thing of being like, it's about race. It's about race. You know what I mean? He was just like, no, I'm just here for justice. I want to know what actually happened. This is not about race. We shouldn't be dividing each other. We shouldn't be against each other because of the color of our skin. The color of my son's skin and the color of Karmelo Anthony's skin should not have anything to do with this whole trial in the first place. He said all that in the very beginning, which made me go, oh, I like this guy. How he went off on Jake Lang and basically said, you're the problem. You are the problem, right? You are absolutely the problem. And then now, in that 2.5 hour rant, he said something completely different. You see what I'm saying? Completely different. And now we got this. Ain't that crazy? It's just wild. It's just wild, but okay. And now he's back to, somebody said a corporate interview. It's like a corporate interview. You know what I'm saying? Back to corporate interview. It's just interesting. It's just interesting.
What do you want people to know about what's happened to your family in this and what has been done to your family as this has become more politicized and more publicized?
Well, that was one of the things I asked about in the first place. Please don't politicize it. Don't make it about race. And they did both. So I've been forced into this spotlight, which I did not ask for. I do not really enjoy, but I'm not afraid to speak up either. So I really don't know what I expect. It's a day-by-day process for us right now. It's
How do you explain to
I
yourself
don't even know what's
people
going to happen tomorrow or the next day. I can just live for today
Well,
at the moment.
Listen, that's all we have, Jeff, right? I mean, you know, when something like this turns your whole life upside down, you understand that it's hard to know what's coming. But did you expect that people would come after your family the way they have?
Yes and no. For me, I would hope that mankind, the moral decay of society that we have witnessed over the past 20, 30, 40 years, I don't know. I mean, it's just, I guess my kids referred to me as I'm old school. I was raised with different values and morals, and I think today's society, we're seeing with maybe single parent homes, because I'm a single parent too. It does create some issues for some people. Fortunately, me and Megan were both able to co-parent our kids, but I think it starts at home in today's society with the parents. They're the ones that give you the guidance, the moral compass, the values that you're going to be growing up with, and hopefully be a contributing factor to society in a productive way. So I truly believe, and it speaks above it in the Bible, but you know, your parents, respect your parents, honor your father, honor your mother. You know, it was amazing when I was 18 once, and I thought I was 10 foot tall, bulletproof, and knew everything. And I was amazed how smart my parents became by the time I was age 30. I learned quite a bit about, wow, I just said something my dad said to me, or wow, I just said something my mom said to me that they had instilled in me. And so I really think if we're concerned, I'm concerned about the future of where our country is headed. I'm only going to be here the next 20, 30 years probably. I'm looking out for the future. What's Hunter's life's going to be like? What is the world going to be like? What are we going to treat people like? How are we going to interact? How do we communicate? How do we teach our children? That's the biggest issue right now. I think conflict resolution needs to be taught in school to kids.
I agree. I agree with that 110%. Okay? I agree with that 110%. I think that we live in a weird time. I agree with that, with what he just said. Really. I think we're at a place right now where we need that more than everything in the world. We need some serious conflict resolution classes. Absolutely. Kids don't know how to act right. That is true. They don't know how to act right. Kids aren't getting spanked like they used to. Kids aren't getting punished like they used to back in the day. Okay? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not sitting here like, oh, back in my day, you know, but at the same time, like, you know, kids aren't disciplined like they used to. What's the worst they get? It's, oh, no more Xbox, no more PlayStation, no more phone for the day, or, you know, for the next day or two. You know what I mean? That's literally it. There's no consequences for their actions, nothing like that. Yeah, I'm gonna sound like Unc right now. I don't care. Okay? Just straight up all that. You know? You know what I'm saying? Same thing. Adults need it too, damn it. You know? Adults need to take a class too. You know? This is how you get out of a situation. Instead of just, you know, getting into a pissing contest with this guy, you just walk away. You see what I'm saying? Shoot. Hey, some parents still do it the old school way. okay, where they kids learn, all right, but there's a vast majority of kids that aren't getting disciplined like they used to. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that kids need to get, I'm not saying that, but there are no repercussions, true repercussions to their actions anymore. Yeah, kids are out of control. They're getting even worse. Okay. And it's because they're not getting disciplined like they used to. So, shoot, childhood nowadays seems like a cakewalk for a lot of these kids now, So, again, conflict resolution classes, that would be fantastic. I agree with that.
I don't think in today's world there are too many opportunities for conflicts that can arise, and they don't have the mental capacity yet to understand how to de-escalate.
The
whole thing.
I hear what you're saying.
Could have been avoided.
I hear what you're saying, and
I could tell both of them. Austin could have walked away. Karmelo could have walked away. Mm-hmm. But that's not what happened.
I hear it, and you're right. That's not what happened. And we're here, and you're dealing with it best you can, and I appreciate your perspective on this. If there's any...
Yeah, again, obviously, it's a completely different... This is a completely different guy. See what I'm saying? This is the guy that we're used to, or at least I was, in the very beginning. It's, wow, very diplomatic, very fair, he needs to be, these were bad choices being made by both kids. And this is a bad situation that happened, and we all need to transcend and be better from this and learn from this and be a better people, But then we see the other one, which was the video we just saw, the interview that we just watched. And it's like, holy crap, this is a completely different person, but, clearly it's the same person with the same thoughts. He must have been real riled up before he did that previous interview and just went off. But he was telling us his true self. He was showing his true self. Okay? He was giving us his true self. I see your true colors. You know what I'm saying? That we were seeing his true colors on the previous interview. This one, it's like, okay, it's Cuomo, so I can't just talk crazy like that. I can't just talk out the side of my neck. Yeah, it's mask on, mask off. Absolutely. Yeah. Crazy, guys. See what I'm saying? So like I said, very, very interesting situation. Again, I agree. Both kids were put in a very, very bad situation and bad choices were made at the same time. Oh, yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, it was because he was on TV for sure. But then he was in a chat room for 2.5 hours and he just went off, And I know some people are like, yeah, black fatigue is real. Or, yeah, he said that part. He said it, that part. Well, if the shoe fits and all that. And I just say, well, I think there's got to be a better way for us to talk about certain things and grow. As a people. And like I said earlier, this whole trial inside that courtroom should have been holding a freaking big, huge mirror for all of us to see ourselves and see how we're acting. Because we are out here, everybody out here. When I say we, I'm saying all of us were out here acting a damn fool. And people are still acting a fool. You see what I'm saying? I see y'all in the chat too, acting a damn fool too there too. Okay? People acting a fool. When we should be looking at this with just facts and saying, how can we prevent this from happening in the future so no other future Karmelo Anthony's or Austin Metcalf's, white or black, lose their life in this way? How can we prevent this from happening to another young man or a young woman? Because for a fact there's going to be another one here soon enough. It's a damn shame. It is a damn shame. But again, guys, I'm praying for both families. because they need it. They need healing. They need time to heal. Like this past week has been a very tough one for a lot of people, understandably. But we really have to figure out a way to transcend as a people, as a country, as a world. Because if we keep going in this route, we keep going in this, just back and forth, this banter, we're never going to change as a people. We're never going to truly transcend to that next level. We'll just end up hurting each other. We'll end up erasing each other off the face of the planet when we all need each other. In fact, we all need each other more than ever before. That's just what I think. But that is the show. I appreciate all y'all for being here. It really means a lot. Thank you so much for tuning in and being a part of the conversation. Okay? Please do me a favor before you head out. Hit that like button down below. Crush it. Do what it do. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on these other platforms. If you are watching on these other platforms like Facebook, X/Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Rumble, Twitch, kick them on all of them. So make sure you hit that follow button on those platforms. Hit that subscribe button right here on my YouTube channel. Come on. Hit that subscribe button. Go to my second channel, The Pascal Show Clips. Subscribe over there as well. Subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Set it to all so you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload, because honestly, it is random. Whenever I can get in here, okay? Let's do that. Hit that join button down below. Become a member. Check out my Patreon. And of course, check out PascalMerch.com. PascalMerch.com. We got some really great stuff over there, so go check it out. PascalMerch.com. Anyway, guys, it's time to get going. Enjoy your Saturday. Hopefully it's a fruitful one. Okay, hopefully it's relaxing, so go enjoy it, and we'll talk here very soon. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another.